Hello everyone, I'm the Peculiar Pisces and welcome to my channel. Today is Monday, May 5th, 2025. It is Cinco de Mayo and this is Flosstube video number, give me just one moment. I think it's 43. Yes, this is Flosstube video number 43. So last week was the last week of April and I showed off those projects and then I showed off the projects that I would be moving to in May. So with that, let me start with those 4 that I finished out April with. Let me show you where I finished those and give you my stats. So project number 1 is the Teresa Wentzler, the Woodland Faerie. And this is where I ended. Ooh, hold on. Let me close that window. Okay, let me see. Today is an overcast and dreary day, so nowhere in my house is the lighting even close to being good. But this is where I ended for the month of April on my Teresa Wentzler. This is 28 count even weave from Fabric Flair, and this is flower champagne fabric. And let me see. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I got 4 hours, 53 minutes, 56 seconds in, and it brought my total project time to 17 hours, 54 minutes, and 35 seconds. Okay, and then project, let me roll this back up really quick. Project number 2 is Pentecost by Practical Blackwork. And here is where I finished for the month. So I did finish out this square up here, and I finished out the square that was down here, and I did start on this outer edge. And so for that one, I got 2 hours, 2 minutes, and 6 seconds. And that has brought my total project time to 98 hours, 10 minutes, and 56 seconds. Okay. So this one is really close. Really close. I can't wait. I can't wait till this one's finally finished. This will probably be my first finish of the year. Although project number 4 on this one for this month is also really close. And then project 3 is, let me grab my papers real quick. Okay, sorry. Before I go on to project number 3, project number 2 is done on 18 count Aida that I hand dyed myself, and it's 1/1. The Teresa Wentzler, I already gave you the fabric information. It's 2/2. The skin will be 1/1. Okay, now project 3. Project 3 is Heaven and Earth Designs. This is Faerie Risqué, no background. The artwork is by Amy Brown Designs. Amy Brown. And I am doing a blue conversion on it. Okay, try not to make this so messy. Here is where I ended for the month. So while I had it out, I did finish this first row, and I did make it two, about 3 blocks in on this second row. Okay, and that one. Last week I got 1 hour, 45 minutes, and 13 seconds on it, and it's brought my total project time to 123 hours, 33 minutes, and 36 seconds. That last day, I got to work 233 stitches on it, and it has brought my stitch count up to 12,126 out of 74,797, and I am 16.21% complete. And sorry, I'm trying to get them into my bookmarks into where the next section is. Okay, and then project. Let me quickly roll this back up. And then project 4 is from last year. It is Plaid Bucilla Kit by Donna Dewberry. It is Hummingbird and Floral. And where I ended for the month is right up here in this top corner. Had it not been on the Q-snap, I thought about counting over from this leaf over here. I think right around here is where I can count over to do the hummingbird, but it was in the Q-snap and I didn't want to take it out of the Q-snap. So I just left it where it was and continued in these flowers. I am like, this is the pattern. I'm so close to being finished with these flowers, and then I can do the hummingbird and then finish the back stitch. So this one and project number 2 are very, very close on a finish. I think project number 2, though, will probably get completed first because it's having more opportunities to be worked on it. Since for project number 2, I only have 2 projects as opposed to 4 projects that I'm juggling for that particular category. Okay. Now that brings us up to where we are for May. The couple that I started in May. Okay, so project 1 is Bella Filipina's Daughters of Estuary. And I am doing this on this. The fabric is from Volcano Stitching. It's called Poseidon. It is 18 count Aida with the opalescent fabric. Okay, so here's where I am. Let me see, should I put it on this side? No, it's not any better. So I got her face, and I'm just working up in her hair and her head. I have been working on the Krynic. I believe all the Krynic from here up is done. And I just need to finish the stitching in her head, and I'm leaving the beading until the majority of the stitching is done. I did do some of the beading down here, down in here. Not all of it, but last time I had a need to see some of the beads on the fabric. And so I did start a little bit of beading. So anyway, that is where I am. on the Daughters of Estuary. I got to work on it 8 hours, 13 minutes, and 26 seconds. And it has brought my total time for this one up to 31 hours, 6 minutes, and 49 seconds. Okay. And project number 2 is the Dutch Beauty Sampler, and I'm working up in this section up here. I worked on this in January, I worked on this again in March, and now I'm working on this again in May. So this is 14 count Aida that I dyed myself. I did a come dye with me video, so if you would like to go back and watch that, you are more than welcome to. The last bit of work that I had done is I finished this deer, brought its legs down, and I started the grass or ground that's underneath. And now I've been going just up along this edge to make sure I have all the stuff for a page design before I will move my Q-snap and work on page 2. So I am almost done with page 2. For this one, I put in 1 hour, 37 minutes, and 26 seconds last week, and it's given me a total of 18 hours, 12 minutes, and 4 seconds. When I did work on it, I got 315 stitches, and it's brought my total project count on it to 3,129. I do not have an overall count on that one because it's a paper copy that I put into Pattern Keeper. So it's counting every single square and not just the ones that I actually need. But as far as the picture goes, here I am just going along this edge to get the last little bits for that page finish. So I'm really, really close. I have all of the tree part is done, and I just need to do the start. Where did I put the book? That's the Teresa Wentzler. Where did I put the book? How did I lose that so quickly? Where in the world did I put that? Okay, hang on. I just put the book somewhere. I literally just had, there it is. Okay, so in the picture, I need to do the start of this deer here, just a few stitches for this page, and then I'll move the Q-snap and start on page 2. So, to tell you what those are, I finished the windmill, which is a symbol of energy, labor, and life. And then it says below that on the left is a bride, probably a bride, with a flower in her hand. The flower is the symbol of paradise and female beauty. The bridegroom is standing on the far right side. So if the bride is over here, the groom is over here on this side. And then I did a tree with birds, and below 2 deer. The tree is mostly standing for the tree of, I'm going to say life, not live or live. The birds in the tree for fertility. They spread the seeds. The deer on both sides of, spelling error, the stem are the guards. Okay, so that is what I have stitched so far on it. And then project 3 is, I'm getting progress on it, but you're not going to be able to see the progress. This is Tilton, hold on, let me get the paper for it. Okay, this is Tilton Crafts. It's called Winter in the Shire. And I foolishly chose to do color completion for this project. And now I'm regretting my choice for this particular project. I should have done color completion for the Waterfalls of Jade and just done how I'm stitching Waterfalls of Jade this way. I should have just, but I didn't think ahead. I didn't properly plan my project. So now I'm stuck with, I think I'm down to 15,000. Can you see it if I do that? 15,000 stitches left of 3865 off-white. So I finished out around here. I've got a few little random stitches here and a few little random stitches here and a couple down here. Can you see it? I can't see it as I'm looking in my screen. Maybe when I look at it as I'm editing, maybe I'll be able to see it. But let's see, project 3. I got to work on it 1 hour, 39 minutes, and 57 seconds, and that has brought my total project time to 17 hours, 27 minutes, and 52 seconds. And when I did get to work on it, I got to put on 394 stitches. It brought my total up to 3,821 out of 122,500. I am now at 3.12%. And I have, 15,661 stitches left of 3865. And let me scroll way out. Okay, so here's the picture in Pattern Keeper. I'm going to get just close enough that you can still see. So I'm all the way over here. So I'm doing these couple of stitches here. And then I'm not sure if I'm going to come from left to right, go all the way over here and work it up, or if I'm just going to end up coming down and filling in and going back towards the left. So I'm not quite sure where the direction I'm going to go is, but here's what I have left. The top portion is mostly done except for a few random stitches, and I still have all of that 3865. 15,000 stitches. So that is where I am on project number 3, and project number 4 is this is by Candemar Designs. The artwork is by Christian Reese Lassen, and this is called the Silent Journey picture. I am using the provided Aida. I am using the provided floss. I am pretty close to getting this quarter done. Pretty close. I mean, I might get it done this time. I might not. It will kind of depend on how many days we go to gymnastics this month, I guess. Okay, now I am positive that I stitched this the wrong way on the fabric. So I've had to remove it from the Q-snap so that I can hold it in hand as I'm coming up this section, and I'm probably looking at right about here is where it's going to come. So I do have a bit of a margin, but it's not going to be much of a margin. So anyway, this is what I've gotten done in the past week. It's not very much. This one, I only got to work on it. This past week I got to work on it 51 minutes and 48 yeah, 48 seconds. Ooh, I didn't finish adding it. I just have the last time, which was 14:49:26. So 14 hours, 49 minutes, and 26 seconds. Adding 51, I mean, it'll be 15 hours. It'll be just a little over 15 hours that I put into this one. And that's it. That's all that I've done in the past week working on No Stitchy Mail. I have ordered the fabric that I want for my chatelaine. I'm hoping that it comes in time, which I don't need it until July. So it should get here in plenty of time. I'm hoping that it's going to look as fantastic as I'm envisioning it. So there's a possibility that if the fabric comes, I might be like, this isn't quite what I had in mind. So we'll see. Apparently, I'm being very, very picky about the chatelaine, whereas I don't think that I've ever been this picky with any of my other projects. So that is it. I will continue filming on Mondays. School lets out this month, and school lets out in 2 weeks. And then after that, it's summer vacation. I'm assuming that summer vacation is going to be a lot like spring break was and a lot like summer vacation last year. I don't expect to have the same laser focus on my projects that I do throughout the school year. I have downloaded the Tiny Decisions app and I have set up my 4 monthly switcheroos. And so during the months that there's no school and the kids are underfoot, I will use my Tiny Decisions app and pick my project for the day and just work on that project that day and not worry about touching all 4 of them in one day. That way, also, project number 4 will get touched during the summer. Last year, it didn't really get touched very much, except for whenever I took my oldest to some after school things. And I don't have the same after school that I did before. We have stopped that one after school activity. So gymnastics now is the only time in the evenings extra besides random doctor's appointments. But project 4 is the one that I mainly stitch while I'm sitting in the car waiting for the kids to get out of school. And last summer, it was proven that, with the exception of the few doctor's appointments that I went to, I hardly touched project number 4 during the summer. So at least using the Tiny Decisions app, I can at least touch it during the summer, so they will get worked on. And I did set it up for like what my January's ones were, what my February ones were, what my March ones were, and what my April ones were. And so I can just pull up the appropriate wheel and spin for those months. So that is it. That is my updates, and I will see everyone next week.